Hey, you all. So I was a little bit of a loss on how to really format this video because I felt like what I have to say is kind of sad, at least for me. And I felt like I didn't have anything really inspirational to kind of follow it up with. And so I didn't want to say something without having something great to say afterwards. So I'm hoping that after this video once I get healed of what I'm getting ready to tell you guys I'm trying to get healed from, I'm praying that I will have a follow-up video, a part 2 to tell you all that I have been delivered from this affliction. And what that affliction is tinnitus. Now, I have tinnitus, which is something I got last May 2018, May 5th. And what that is like a ringing in your ears, like your ear cells are damaged, and you just start hearing your brain misfire in your head, and you just have these high-pitched ringing noises. And I have never heard of that before when I first found out what it was. And it was even more depressing to know that there's no cure for it. And I know that some people handle certain things better than others, but for me, this has been a very difficult affliction. So but I was desperate. I was desperate to get rid of it, and I prayed so much, and I tried to get other people to pray for me, and I've still have not been delivered yet. And I even, I went fasting for 3 weeks with no food, only water, or if I had tea with no calories, and for almost a month not eating any food. And because some people said that could help your cells rejuvenate and multiply and detox your body, all that stuff. And I have to be honest, I was scared to attach God's name to that fast because I didn't want to go through all that time and believing that I would be healed. And then if I wasn't healed, I didn't want to feel some kind of way. I didn't want it to do something to my faith. And I know that probably doesn't sound good to say, but that's how I felt in the moment. And I just been praying, but then there's been times I've stopped praying altogether because I felt so discouraged, because I felt like God has not been listening or hearing me. He hasn't been delivering me. And it's like I said, it's a terrible affliction. It's something I wouldn't wish on anybody to have. When I first got this tinnitus, I would listen to other people's experience with it. And, I had seen a lot of young people with it. And one young young boy, he's only 12 years old. He talks about how he, when he sleeps, he cries himself to sleep because of the affliction in his mind and in his ear. And, you hear about people who say they want to commit suicide. One guy said the only reason why he hasn't committed suicide is because of his daughter. So it's just that mind torture, and it is very difficult. And it's even, like I said, it's even worse to know that there's no cure for it. And so my faith, do I believe in God? Absolutely. Do I believe in Jesus? Absolutely. But like I said, it's the discouragement, because I feel like God hasn't been hearing my prayers and hasn't lifted that affliction off of me. But like I said, I'm praying that I'm gonna follow this video up with a testimony of being healed in Jesus' name. So hopefully I can do that in the very, very near future. Because I want to go out there and proclaim the gospel and not have to, because I know I have my bullhorn and it's loud, and I don't want it to damage my ears. And one more thing, you all, last fall when I was doing the Shocktober, I really had to push myself to go out there because I'm going to be honest, I was upset. I was upset because God hadn't taken that affliction away from me. And I wasn't motivated to go out there and street preach. But, I didn't want the enemy to have the victory in that. And I really pushed myself to go out there. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. But I just want you all to know what I've been kind of going through. And if any of you all have been suffering, you're not alone. And I pray that you guys will keep me in your prayers if you remember. But here's 37 seconds into my head, y'all.